like this whistle when they fly, and this is really scary because you don't understand if it's gonna hit you or not. It was just like a suitcase like this, I guess. Like,
Wow.
Then I ended up in Switzerland. I just remember like driving from the airport and seeing all these mountains everywhere, these lakes, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in paradise. That village was so nice to me, I would say. And then I received a positive reply from bildxzug, and they asked me to sign some papers, and I couldn't believe myself.
So, hello everyone to our podcast. Today's guest is Mariia, and I think we can just start by you telling something about yourself.
So my name is Mariia. I'm 20 years old. I'm coming from Ukraine, and I've been living in Switzerland for 2.5 years already. Wow. I'm doing apprenticeship as bildxzug, as Kauffrau, and I'm finished my second year, and I'm starting my final year, and yeah, that's it so far.
I think we're just gonna start by with your childhood. So you can just tell me something about how you grew up and where you grew up and all of that.
So my childhood was a happy childhood. I grew up in the city where I was born and where I lived till 17 years old, in Kyjiw. That was childhood really cool because we didn't have the phones and everything else, so we're still hanging out, childhood gang, I don't know. And I was going to the same school, had the same friends. I did everything that was possible, horse riding, dancing, like ballroom dancing, contemporary dancing, gymnastics, taekwondo, something and then it was judo, but for me it was the same. Tennis, ping pong, everything you can imagine.
What kind of family construction were you raised in?
So my parents are divorced since my early childhood, so I grew up with my mom and my grandma, and I think when I was younger I was visiting my dad sometimes on the weekend. I never needed a lot of attention, I didn't miss the attention. I also had a nanny, the best woman in this world also.
You went to school at Ukraine.
Yeah.
So how was the starting year and all of that for you?
I actually don't really remember. I think as a child you don't really understand what school is and when you're changing from kindergarten, if something is gonna change for you. But I remember it was so lonely because firstly it's you go outside on the big stadium where you just have to line and walk through in the circle, and you have to find a girl or a guy you will hold hands to walk through this circle. And I remember I was so sad because everyone told me I already have a friend to walk with, and I'm I don't know anyone, can someone please walk with me? So it was a bit sad part. And I was a bit sad, but my dad and mom were there, so they were it's okay, you're gonna do this, it will be fine. And don't remember primary school really good, but the class always stayed the same. Nothing really changed, and I had pretty nice class.
You talked about primary school and everything, so what's the school system in Kyjiw?
Okay. I'm not going to talk about the new one. I'm not sure how the new one works, but not that much changes, I think. So for us, it was from the 1st to 11th grade. You stay within the same school if you want. We have gymnasium and lyceum, but it's only the name and the documents. It's supposed to prepare some lyceum, I think, prepares you the best for final exams.
And what about the subjects?
Unfortunately, I couldn't choose subjects that I like or I don't like to remove. And I just had everything, chemistry, biology, physics, algebra, geometry, Ukrainian literature, foreign literature, sports. I hated it. Then it was something like crafts for girls and for boys. Girls actually could do for boys, but we haven't done it. In some lyceums, you can like go to the special class where you focus more on like science subjects, or I don't know, some languages. I also had German at school, but I didn't study there. And English too, yeah.
When you grew older, I think you moved out from your mother's apartment.
Yeah, so this is like a bit funny story because it was 2 apartments like on the same floor. And just our neighbors like told my mom once when I was younger, like, oh, would you like to buy this apartment and make your apartment bigger? And she was like, yeah, okay. But then something went wrong and it was just like normal apartment, not like extended our. And when I was 14, I just packed all my stuff and moved there. Yeah, and since then I was living kind of alone, but still was visiting my mom, especially when I wanted some nice food. I was like, open up.
You moved to Switzerland because of the war.
Yeah.
How did that start? Like, how did you get to know of the war and everything?
So my friend just, like this evening before the war, like night before the war, she told me, let's go out, let's go clubbing. And it was Wednesday, Tuesday, I think it was Wednesday. And I was like, no. I have like online classes at university tomorrow. I don't want to do this. But oh my God, she was so annoying. She was like, come on, you're not my friend. If you don't go with me. When I didn't want to go, you went. Yeah, anyway. And we went, and it was a very weird night because we had also a group of guys there, kind of our age, who started talking to us, and they were proving to us that the war is gonna happen. And we were like, no, it's not gonna happen. Anyway, and we got a lot of drinks. So we got home pretty drunk at like 3:30, and the war started in the next hour. But we were too drunk, so we were sleeping like that. And then my mom called me in the morning saying that the war started, and I was like, what? Still was a bit dizzy from the alcohol, and I didn't quite get it, but she told me something like, get the water into all the possible pots, just in case. And then I heard the explosion, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So the explosion happened like the starting explosions right where you lived, or?
No, luckily not. It was more like industrial zones, I think, at that time. So it was like something like falling, because it was a bit too far away. But yeah, sometimes you could hear like the missiles, like this whistle when they fly. And this is really scary because you don't understand if it's gonna hit you or not.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, but and then like I was still feeling sick, and my mom dragged me to buy some groceries, some pharmacy stuff. Yeah, this wasn't the best day of my life overall.
Oh wow. So how did you feel like when you realized it really started and everything?
I think like in the beginning no one took it so serious. Like the first days we thought like it's gonna end in a week. Because like we still have war from 2014, and it was more like a passive war after some months passed and they occupied some territories. But yeah, and then there was the, I don't know like how it's called in English, the guy who's working in parliament. He was always like, yeah, just wait 2-3 weeks and it's gonna be fine. And like he was repeating that, and we were like kind of hoping it's gonna be fine. But in the end, yeah, I think it was like third or fourth day that they were close to Kyjiw, and like everyone started to panic. But in the end, it all like they were gone, luckily. Yeah, I don't remember super clearly this like timeline. Yeah, but in the beginning, that was scary. Yeah, definitely. Now it's more like a bit. I just like when I remember, it's a bit more smile, you know. But I think I'm also trying to like with the smile to block these feelings like of being scared. Yeah.
Okay, so now you're here in Switzerland. So how, like, why in Switzerland, and how was it like from the first day that you woke up and your mother came and said you need to fill those water bottles until like you went to Switzerland and everything?
Yes, so I think first 2 days we stayed in our apartment, or maybe one night only, like, don't remember for sure. I moved to my mom's apartment because I was scared. And then we decided that it's a bit scary to stay 3 of us women in the same apartment, and we decided to go to our friend's house, like outside a little bit of our city. And we stayed there for 3 days. The location wasn't the best because of some kind of close location to the other city that was bombed a lot. So it was pretty loud in the morning, in the evening, and during the whole day. And I think it was like 3-4 days while I was staying there. And my mom noticed that I'm really close to having panic attacks. And we decided just to go somewhere. Doesn't matter where, just a little bit like closer to some Poland and Romania, Slovenia, Slovakia, I'm not sure which one is close, but border. And we just went to our apartment back. We packed our luggages. I didn't take much clothes, but it was like a mix. Like it was a soup. It was some winter like jackets, and then it was like some summer sandals. So it was like nonsense. And we actually, when we were going somewhere, we didn't know where. We only like knew the direction. We were calling everyone that we know while living like somewhere outside of these areas, and we found some friends who had their apartment rented out, and their nieces were moving out, so they gave it to us, basically the keys. And I think I stayed 2 days there, and then my friend just texted me. He's half German, half Ukrainian, but lives in Zug, and I met him online. He came once to like visit me because of his grandma who's living close to my city. And yeah, he texted me, pack your stuff and go to Switzerland. And I was like, hey, what? I don't have enough like money right now. Switzerland is the most expensive country in the Europe. He told me it's fine. I found your host family, just pack. And I was like, can I take my mom? He said, yeah, sure. They would be really happy to have you with your mom. But my mom said, I'm staying here and you go. And that was really weird because my mom wasn't worried that she doesn't know this family, she doesn't know this guy, but she just told me like, you go. And on the same day I booked flight tickets and like bus tickets to Poland. So yeah, and then I ended up in Switzerland. And like first impression, oh my God, I just remember like driving from the airport and seeing all these mountains everywhere. These lakes, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in paradise. It looks so good. And it's completely different because my city is basically like a lot of skyscrapers, and it's huge. And here everything is so small, so tiny. And I first was like, oh wow, is it really a city, not like a small village? And then I was also staying in Unterstützung. Like, this place is so amazing. Like this lake, this mountains, all these houses up on the mountain. It was like, first week was amazing, but then I started to work and then it wasn't any more amazing.
Yeah. If you're comfortable, I would like to ask you more questions about the war and like, I don't know, like how it was for you to be there and like the journey to that house near the border and everything.
It was scary. First of all, when we were driving from outside the Kyjiw to close to the border, like it was insanely a lot of people, like insane amount driving out, and we were stuck just somewhere in the middle of the night, some unnamed road, because our friends told us don't drive the main one. It can be like missiles can fall there or something like that, so such a weird road. And we were stuck in the traffic jam for like 4 hours, for like, I don't know, maybe 10 kilometers. And you could feel that people are just trying to buy everything, because when you go to the pharmacy or grocery store, everything is empty. Even gas station, you just want to buy water and you see like all the shelves are empty. So this is the moment when you feel like you're in apocalypse. And yeah, it was, I mean, during the day still looked fine. I mean, I wasn't in the like hot zones, as we call them. We still got some, unfortunately, attacks, but it wasn't like Kharkiv or Mariupol. Mariupol was like, it was a hell. It was a living hell. During the day, it looked fine. The sun was shining, you know, and in the evening you hear all this like bombs, and it's a bit scary. And yeah.
Yeah. Do you also know like people that had to go fight for your country?
Yeah, so my ex-classmate, he went to fight, but I'm not in touch with him. It was just a friend, through friend, you know, who told me this. But he was always like hoping he would get into this soldiers group.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the war, like the passive war from 2014.
Yeah.
And also, my friend texted me recently that he received this letter that he should join. But I was asking him how's he feeling, but I think he was a bit too positive. He was like, yeah, it's cool, I'll kill everyone who are like bad. And I'm just like,
Oh well.
that's not really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the only ones I know.
So, well, it wasn't obligatory to go for like everyone, or?
Kind of yes and kind of no. So the men who are over 18 till 60 should be on some military, I don't know, platform. Not sure. And if you want to join, you go and you say, look, I want to join, and they take you. But if you don't want to and you try to avoid, well, you can be lucky and you don't receive this letter that you are like supposed to go. But if you receive this letter, there's no way out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh wow.
But I feel like in our country there are a lot of people who want to join. I think that's really like heroic. Would you say it in English like that? Yeah, so.
Okay. So when you were at Switzerland, you lived at a host family?
Yeah.
So how was that, and why did they take you in?
I'm not sure why they took me in. So when my friend called me, he told me about another host family that was willing to take, but they wanted a smaller child in the end, and they offered their friends to take a kid from Ukraine. And they were kind of happy to take me because they had kids of the same age as me, a boy and a girl. So it was really nice, and the family was really cute. We were having like family dinners. It didn't really have like this family big dinners. We just sit in the evening and talk. And in the beginning I was a bit scared because they're from Great Britain and I didn't know what accent they have. So I was really scared to not understand them, and that my English is not that great because I didn't use it every day. I knew that it's good, but I didn't know if it's good for everyday use. And yeah, they were really nice. And then also I had really nice neighbors who was also willing to help me. And just like that village was so nice to me, I would say. And I met a lot of new people there. They were all like open. It's more like international village, that's why. And I'm also like super grateful to the neighbor I had. I was walking her dog, like the cute pug. Oh my god, I'm in love with him. And they also like always were supporting. They invited me over Christmas. We sometimes see each other. I was like staying at the house, taking care of the dog when they were gone. Yeah, it was like a dream job. They also had a swimming pool. And Yeah, what else can I tell? Oh, they were also like really nice, my host family, because every single day they tried to say something in Ukrainian. It sounded bad, funny, but it was really nice. And they were always trying to like find out how's my mom, what happened in Ukraine today, if there are any good or bad news. Yeah, so they were really caring.
Yeah. So you just came there with like your suitcase packed with
Yeah,
everything,
the small one.
and you just left everything else behind.
Yeah.
Or...
Well, later my mom was sending me some clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I still have a lot of clothes at home, but I don't really need them anymore.
Yeah.
And it was just like a suitcase like this, I guess. Like,
Wow.
yeah, a small one. But when I was moving out from there, I had this suitcase and 5 big boxes already. So it was like, how did I end up like this? And I didn't live there for like a long time. I think it was like 5-6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like this material stuff is not like something irreplaceable or unbelievably hard to leave behind. I miss my apartment. That's what I definitely miss.
Yeah.
But this clothes, you know, you can just buy them. And I kind of had like all my favorite stuff or some memories pieces with me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And your mom decided to stay in Ukraine. So did you see her again, like since then?
Yeah, I saw her last year in summer. She came to comfort me because I was tired of my studies with these languages. Oh my God, French and German. Yeah, she decided to stay, and I understand her because it's hard when you reach like already like everything that you need to settle down and to live this just life. You have work, you have cars, you have apartments, you know, you just have all your life here. And she just didn't want to go. But she told me because I said I don't want to go without her, I can stay here. And she told me she will hate me if I stay with her and like won't use the chance to go to Switzerland. She always told me like you can go there, if you don't like you can come back or somewhere else, but just try at least.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. And so you started your apprenticeship here.
Yes.
So how was that for you, like the whole process from finding a place where you can study and everything?
So my friend who took me here, he was doing this program, also like a bilingual class. And he just mentioned to me a couple of times that he's working and studying. And then I asked him what was the name of this program or something. And then I saw like I could click just online to apply there. And I was like, well, I mean, why not? I can at least, like, you know, sometimes you have to do something so you don't feel guilty about yourself. I was also like sending emails to universities if I can join or so. But then bildxzug replied to me, and I was like, no, because they give me interview date. And I was talking to the guy, and he said it was pretty difficult to get in. So I was like, well, I guess maybe interview it's not the final, like yes or no. So I just have to go there. And I had Andrea Eaton interviewing me, such a sweet lady. And it was more like a talk, just like friendship talk. Not friendship talk, but like, you know what I mean. And yeah, she was just telling me what are my skills, abilities, what I like to do, what I don't like to do, what I would want to do as a Kauffrau. And then I was like, I don't know. It didn't feel like it was like something like yes, like you're accepted interview. And then I received a positive reply from bildx, and they asked me to sign some papers, and I couldn't believe myself. Because they were also offering me to start the year later with the new reform. But I was like, no, I'm safe here, let's do it. I mean, I just need to do something. And I was super happy, but when I started, the first day was full in German, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, it was fun activity day, some archery classes, but it was like full in German. It was like, if it's always going to be full in German, then I'm done with this line. It was really hard. But then I started school and I saw like a lot of people speak English between themselves. And I learned close to these people. And it was just okay. But French, the first exam, it was a terrible thing.
Yeah. So did you have French also in Ukraine, or was it like you just started it here?
No, I never had French. My knowledge was just bonjour. And that's it. Even though I wasn't wasn't sure how to pronounce bonjour. So this is also the knowledge I had. But yeah, that was horrible because the first exam was like 50 verbs that you have to learn how to conjugate in passé composé and like present. And yeah, I was just trying to learn everything I could.
And like, what about your friends? Like, you came here to Switzerland, and what about them?
So I think in the beginning everyone left because we're younger and we have like more chances to leave. But I believe like 40% came back to Ukraine, and like the closest ones are in Ukraine actually.
Yeah.
They moved back. But everyone else is like all around Europe or even United States, Canada.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, just don't know anyone in Asia. That's it.
And like here in Switzerland, there's no one else that you know of?
No.
Yeah.
I think I have a lot of friends who are staying somewhere like Germany, Italy, and around. So they come to Switzerland like it's a day tour, like a couple of days tour to just see. But I'm always busy. I'm working, unfortunately, so I don't have enough time to just hang out when I want. So we don't really see each other.
And like, how did you like start having friends here? Like, you know the one guy that you came here for?
So I mean, that guy I met on Tinder. Yeah, when he just came to meet me, I knew it's not a match in terms of like love match, but it was never like love talking, love chat. And we just said we're in a good relationship. So, but when I came here, we didn't talk much anymore. That's another story. But here, I don't have friends. Well, I made friends with you lately. Just like, classmates that you're, like, you're in a good relationship when you're like inside school, but you didn't have a relationship when you're outside the school. And it's totally normal. And yeah, no more friends.
And so what about like the school systems, if you can like compare them to another from the Ukraine and Switzerland? And what you think is like good?
Let's say we have something like this apprenticeship in Ukraine, but it's called college, not like in the United States. And I'm not sure how it works. I think that you find yourself like some part-time work, or maybe you don't really have to find it. I think it depends. And you can like learn your profession there, like baker, I don't know, everything. But it's considered more like less prestige, I would say, than just like finishing school, because you leave to college after 9th grade, and you can after that college go to university, but it's considered not that cool as just finishing 11th grades and going to university. And overall, what I heard like about normal schools also, it's like so different in Switzerland and Ukraine. What I didn't really like to like when I heard that, and I kind of also have it, that you're not allowed to miss school for vacation, for example, or something. Or if you need to go, your parents should do something, some documents to sign, tell everyone in that school. I mean, in Ukraine, you just like bring the note like, oh, my kid wasn't in the school because of family stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. So it was really easier to miss classes in Ukraine. I did a lot, especially in the final years. And it wasn't like such a big deal, but I also think it depends on the school. And I think it's really cool what they have in Switzerland, this Ausbildung system. I think like Ukraine really needs it because it's really hard when you like finish university to find work. Everyone needs someone with experience, but where do you get experience if you need to just start working? And yeah, that would be really nice. I mean, bildxzug is really nice. And I think it's so cool that you have this company helping you with everything, that you don't have to find your work yourself, and they always take care of you. So everyone apply to bildxzug. It's like 100% the best.
Sweet of you. I did not tell her to say that. We can just talk about your future for now. Like, do you have any plans?
Well, after Ukraine, I just know whatever you have in your head, it can always change. So not really like plans, but I plan to finish university online in Ukraine and finish here, hopefully, that I pass all my final exams and just start working. I cannot afford to be unemployed. And yeah, I probably see myself in finance. I don't know, I'm gonna try it this year and then I'll tell you. But yeah, just work, no kids, no marriage. Maybe marriage, I don't know, but no kids, definitely. And just live this life. I want to travel more also.
But you would like to stay here in Switzerland or go back to Ukraine? Or?
I mean, it's really sad to say, but as long as we have our neighbors, happy neighbors, it's impossible to live in Ukraine. And yeah, I would just stay here. And I would want to take my mom here. If I earn like enough, I hope so. And yeah,
I think we're just gonna wrap it up. You can just like say something you want to say to like any listeners who are going through a tough phase in their life, or maybe through school and having problems there, or just anything you would like to let them know.
I don't want to be offensive or so, but I just want to say, if you have some hard time at work, at school, doesn't matter where, you just need to remember that it's not the end, and a lot of people die today just because of war or some politics, I don't know, in Israel and Gaza, Ukraine, Russia, like it's terrible, and I think you just have to live this life, and doesn't matter what, like no one is allowed to take your life, and just be positive.
Thank you very much, Mariia.
Thank you too for inviting me here.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.